Unfortunately, this lens goes back to LensRentals tomorrow morning. But before it does, I thought I'd give it a little bit of a review. Welcome to Grant Takes Pictures. I'm Grant, and I take pictures. So this lens here is the Canon TS-E 17mm f4 lens. I've had it for about 2 weeks now, rented it from LensRentals, and you know, gotten to know it well enough. What I have found is it is very good at some things, and well, it's only good at those things. The one thing this lens is real good at is taking pictures of really tall buildings. Other than that, the lens is, well, relatively slow at f4. You can't really do any astrophotography, even though it is, you know, quite a wide angle lens. You know, the fact is, it's really just too wide. I found that far too often I had way too much foreground in my images, and well, I just didn't need it. I've always thought I wanted a wider angle lens, that my 24-70 just wasn't wide enough sometimes. But honestly, maybe it's plenty wide. Maybe I don't need that 16-35, because I found that this 17 just too wide. The other things I kind of think about this lens is it's not really good for product photography. It's not good for portraiture. Once again, it's too wide. And despite all of that, I've loved taking pictures with it. I had said in my video a couple weeks ago that everybody covets a tilt-shift lens. And, well, honestly, I do too. I think that's why I've liked taking pictures with this lens so much, is that it's something that I have never been able to do before, and it's probably not something I'll get to do often in the future. The tilt-shift lens is really something special. Any tilt-shift lens will force you to slow down and really consider your composition a little bit more than a normal lens would. Obviously, it's manual focus, so there's no autofocus. That takes a little bit longer. And you have to adjust both the tilt and the shift to make sure that everything looks the way you want it to. But that's true for just about any tilt-shift lens. This lens in particular is incredibly sharp. Despite the 17mm wide-angle nature of the lens, it is remarkably distortion-free. You can see in the photos I took at the beach, the panoramas in that first video I shot with this lens, that there is still some distortion. When you pan the lens around, you can see things warp just a little bit. But at 17mm, you would expect that from any lens. And this one in particular really just minimizes the distortion that you get from such a wide angle lens. At the end of the day, at $2,100, this is an expensive lens, and it's really only good for taking pictures of really tall buildings like this one just behind me. At that price, it's probably not worth it for most photographers to buy this Canon TS-E 17mm f4 tilt-shift lens. It's really great for those photographers who need it, but most don't. So I encourage you to go and rent one, play with it for a weekend. It is a wonderfully fun lens to to take pictures with and to get to know. But it's just not that valuable for its cost, unless you are one of those photographers who is an architectural photographer taking pictures of very tall buildings or very small spaces. So at the end of the day, that's what I think of the lens. It is great, it is fun, it is not that useful except for a very few small select number of photographers. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, hit that like button below, and I try to bring you new videos every Tuesday, so hit subscribe to see what comes next. Until next week, have a great time.